morning, good afternoon, good evening based on your location, wherever you are watching this video from. My name is Moefi Flomo, a student of Cuttington University, reading sociology. And this afternoon we've come to tour the museum at the Cuttington University campus. And you see the African Museum here. This is the simple right here, telling you this is the museum. And we will be going in the tour to know the different happenings, the different artifacts in here that they are still on improving the museum, what they seek to get help from us out that they can be able to get this area back. As you know, this area, there were material preserved during the 14-year civil war in Liberia, and they have so many different artifacts here that you'll be seeing today. And the person in there will be telling us about this museum and how they seek to get help from outsiders or from people to help to restructure this area, to have it renovated so that these things can be preserved for the longest of time, we can be here. So follow us as we walk in. We are already in the museum here, and as you can see the area, just show the area before we go in, just show a part of the area, and this is the museum and other parts in here. And we are going to move into the office of who is taking care of this area, and he's going to be explaining more about this area to us and some of the artifacts here, and maybe their meanings, when they got here and how long this area been here for. So he'll be telling you. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, pleasure meeting you.
Great. Tell us your name.
I'm about to say Market, the curator of this Africana museum.
Okay. And can I have a seat?
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you. And we've come to get some information about this area. As you may be aware, this is an area in the country, especially for Liberia, looking at the Civil War. This is where you find some of the remains, that things that our forefathers left behind. They were preserved here and also in Monrovia. But this is on Cuttington University campus. This is so special. I think this should be the second area, or maybe the third area that you have preserved for students or people outside to come for tourism to come and see. So just tell us your position.
Well, to be right with the information, this place been down since 3 years now. The man who manages the place in the past happened to be one in England. He passed away since 3 years ago, and since then the place been closed until the 2nd of March last month. Our contractor as a museum expert to come and take over and manage this museum. This is why I'm here. And to start off with, since I've been here, I've been doing inventory and cataloging and doing some documentation of this place, because somewhere that have been closed for 3 years, you may know what may happen, because there may be infestation through the aging of deterioration. These are things that have been going on since the 3 years since the door been closed. But since I came here, I tried to do my inventory and do condition report and other things. What we can do now to jumpstart, this institution to where it's supposed to be, where I am now.
Okay, for the benefit of the public, just tell the public, tell us your experience on this work.
Well, thank you very much to ask such a question. It's very interesting. It was right after the war. Our war ran for 14 consecutive years. So right after that, the whole country, was devastated. And not to talk about, culture and historical institutions like this or others that may be added to this. So they were devastated, and then, it went down. And after the whole episode, we need to upgrade it, and this is where we're starting from now. This is the first step. And to just tell you about my experience is that right after the war, as I told you, heritage institutions like and these that I'm managing now were always devastated. So UNESCO was looking for somebody. UNESCO had concern about cultural institution. So they were concerned, and then they were starting all people who could go and do the study in this field. So I was selected, through the government by UNESCO, the help of UNESCO, I went to University of Ghana. This is what I did a diploma study in this field, and then from there, I went to other countries like Rome, Italy, and then I went to the US's, all about studying about I don't want to mention about the African country around. I've been doing all about museum learning in this country, and I'm not boasting. I'm one of the only persons that studied museum science in this capacity.
How many years now, the experience?
It go back to the years. I've been telling you that 25 unbroken years that I've been in the field of this. And not just working in the office, but I've been working in the field, working with researchers and going to countries that I just need to learn. And I work on 2 different world stages. One having to be China. I worked for 6 months on behalf of government doing cultural exchange program. Then next I went to Dubai, 2022. That I also did cultural exchange, on expo, I've been expo outside the country. That have been my working environment outside the country. And then inside again, now I'm here at the university, and now I need to come and work, but also to train other people to pick up, because you hardly find people in this field. So I'm trying to also upgrade people that way. After me will be the next people or next generation that will pick up from here to where I am.
So from the very first day you stepped your feet in here, how was it like? What was the experience, or what came to your mind? The very first thing that came to your mind.
Well, I got to know that we have to do much more if we have not been doing, especially to preserve culture, heritage. Because without culture or without telling story about yourself, you're nothing. So when your culture, the fabric of culture is damaged, you also damage because you have no story to tell about yourselves. So when I came here, I got to know that this institution was funded under the university as a research in the university to help the students to discover themselves more. It's not just learning all of the big book, and at the end of the day, you can't talk nothing about yourself. So it was a purpose in which I believe under the Liberal Arts College that this department was formulated. But then the interest of it had to be picked up by students the wrong way. So I'm now here to help, not only to sit here and explain about the the culture, differences about it, but also to people to get also involved into learning about their cultural dynamics.
In here since you came, for you to carry on some teaching to them?
Yeah, it's a daily basis, and one of those children that actually come in, that the children from the youth, from the school, the university school, the grade school.
Okay.
They have been coming and they are so amazed because every time 1 or 2 come, they tell the other friend, bring friend, and every on a daily basis, one of the doors is open, they are out here.
That's
and
the
then,
high school, right?
Yeah, the high school.
Okay.
And then besides that, some of the college students, out of curiosity, they just pop in, but I try to draw their attention. But one person come, I try to beat their imagination. Hey, you gotta discover yourself. Tell somebody about this. You can't learn a book and go there, and you can't tell nothing about your own story. You just talk about other people's story, read about other people from the diaspora, and watch movie from the diaspora. We got to create right here. And now I'm a cultural person. If I pull on my culture regalia, that why you get there and put my dentist stuff when you see me there, you forget to know that I'm in here. So I'm in and out. Culturally built. So I'm here to help, this university to also culturally build, so that when they leave from here, they will be able to tell the story in the long way. That narrative, this is what I'm here.
Okay. So just before we go around to tour, knowing, the difficulties, some of the things that, you need in here to make the area look like a museum. Let's know from your own side, plans or innovation that you try to carry to the administration or maybe the Department of Sociology or the College of Liberal Arts, that they can be able to bring in some materials there, or some of the activities. Maybe you want to get a course, a specific course in the school, something like that, yeah.
Definitely this course under the Liberal Arts College, it fall within the purview of anthropology. And now I did anthropology, I'm a minor at the University of Ghana, Liberia, what I did. Sociology my major and my minor in anthropology. But all the work that I've been doing, most of it have been anthropological work. So it built me. And now I put adding sociology and anthropology knowledge together, and this is what I try to introduce. So as I'm here, since I came, there are a lot of things that we don't have that have been damaged here, that when we talk about culture, we got to start from ourselves. So I started doing research already. I've gone far. And I approached the administration about it. Like, for me, when I went to work, what I do first is that, when you try to do a house building, you try to do the work plan, the drawing. So I had already done a lot of drawing, in explaining to, the administration. For me, when I wrote to set up or organize the museum. I start from the history. Yeah. So I will lay down a plan, blueprint that I will do to start to reorganize it, like you do the introductory labor in abstracts. Then you talk about March and the 16th trial March, you do a kind of introductory labor. Then you go to from general to specific. So if you say March in totality, there are about this. In that manner, then you break it down and say the culture march, like Bong County, Lower County, Nima County, then you come down with a narrative. And then you have it like a bullet point, like telling your detail, they're telling you how, like you highlighting it, then you have a detail in database. So this is the thing I'm explaining to them. I think they're grabbing the concept and we're working it gradually because the institution that have been down for 3 years, you can't just start to run. You got to start with the first 14, then second, third, and then you get 7. So I'm pushing out there the needed material and what have you, how to start and when to start and how to approach whatever means we want to take it from. So I think we're getting there. I think they are happy and then they're putting a hand around me to see how we can jumpstart in those institutions.
Okay. So approximately how many years these things been here for?
The 1 year where we're talking about this part of the institution or the college was evolved 1962, and the building that we're in was made possible by UC. So you see the story started down, and getting down, and you see, and the institution actually started from the divinity and then to agriculture. When they talk about Cuttington, right? That's the background it started from. So they didn't have the passion of this. So it came later. So for people to grab the concept to run with it, you got to take time. So this is where we are come now. Like a baby is born, and the institution is like it's a rebirth. It gave me rebirth now, to start to jump. So now I come to be in our seat and I'm moving like a baby, getting wet gradually there. What? Because when you're down for 3 years, maybe you were handicapped and now you are given the doses and you're trying to receive strength to move. So this is why the strength has come. And now we're getting there gradually. So if I stay using, we'll start 9 right now. No, so just as I told you, the systematic set of baby can, emerge. So we started with the first 14, we're sitting, and later a few times we walk. So which means in a nutshell is that I had a short plan, middle plan, and long plan. So now we're talking about immediate plan now. Then we go to short term because short term say it has a own way to go. So we start the immediate plan. Immediate plan means that maybe you got to have logistics, you got a computer, you got this, so that the immediate plan, the quick impact. So when we get there now, that's the logistic to incur whatsoever thing we'll be doing there. We're doing paperwork, we're documenting, we're writing, we're writing the narrative. Then we start getting there because anything you do for us in the museum will actually based on documentation. All the things you see mass, you will visually see it, but the documentation has to be written and put in a database because we are in the 21st century, not just writing. Everything we do, we highlight, we get it the detailed information in database. So this is the immediate plan, short term, and long term. So this is the way we are.
Okay. So let's begin touring, the museum, seeing the different things and what are some of the areas you need improvement in, so that people who will see the video can be able to help contribute to get the area on path.
Okay, thank you very much. To start off with, for us, what we do is from our background is that we always have introductory levels, which are still working on it. So we're using this statue now as an introduction. Okay. So it nearly tells the story of the entire exhibit. You can see here, this is the cycle of our culture. If you look here, you see the lady, carrying her baby in her bag with farm produce, then heading for town. Then which means from the village of her farm, right? Yeah. And during the early days, our women never used to think about wearing blouse or blouses, what have you. Once they get a lava tied around her head and then the breast cover, they're good to go. So you can see the sample. She only had a baby on her back with a lava tie around her breast, and then she's okay, right? Yeah. And if you talk about feetwear or slipper, don't just go there. They used to be barefooted, but we changing, the dynamic of time. So just to start out with, this is our beginning. So when we're talking about culturally, about people, about the life, the way of life, and everything that involved to it about culture, it starts right here. Then you see the lady here, she's fanning something like a rice or cereal or so, right? Then you see the man drinking either maybe a wine. It could be a palm wine, you know, they call it palm wine, it's from God to man, right? So you can see it, he's treating it down there, yeah, okay? Then you see at the background, you see the country hall, which means they are heading for town, and some of them in town, and some of them heading for town, and some of them already were in town, the activity of life going on. So there's the life cycle.
And our guests are tree that were caught.
Right.
And they face this.
And you know, our people were artistic in nature. They were not. They were educated in a sense, and they were civilized in a sense, but to document it, like what you myself doing today, we're in school writing. No, they were not. But they put most of the work in art. So when you see the art, artists speak more than even words. Yeah. So they will put in drawing and what have you. As soon as you see control, you know. Yeah. You see somebody carrying samples, you know. You see one baby on the back, you know. And one of the most interesting part is that culture, the culture cycle start right here. They had a way of plaiting their hair. That's one of the things that we never take note of. They just from up down. You see all the hairs of the older folks is just from up down. But our girls, our young folks now, they play, you know, they play hair now, they call it Afro now, all that. That's the young people, you know, the older folks, the younger folks, you know, terrain. But when it comes to the older folks, they got under one style of, you know, dealing with the hair. They just plait it right down. And for the men, no bush hair all the time. You just call it low, always low, okay? So this is the life cycle of our exhibit start right here. So the introduction of the whole exhibit is here, okay. Right? Then we'll make a move.
Let's go to the next area.
Then we start from here.
Okay.
You know, Mars tells a whole lot of story, right? Okay. This one they are we call it contemporary Mars. Contemporary Mars is just a Mars that tells our daily, you know, a feature about what happening now, you know, on the spot. Mm-hmm. And they are important, of course, but now more detailed than the antiquity. So these are decorative mats that you can just use for your house or maybe in your living room, your porch or whatsoever. These are decorative mats. These are the making.
They were designed made by our forefathers.
Yeah. Forefathers, and so now these contemporary people. Okay. And so that's it. They look at it and they can use one mat and face 3-4 factions out of that. So that's how you look at it. Okay, this is some people see elephant, but they don't know how elephant, you know, actually feature elephant is. This is the bone of elephant. When you see elephant, you may not know, but this actually is the bone. You can see how large it is. Yeah. So elephant have very large.
All of these?
Yeah, all of these. There's the one elephant. Okay. These are the bone, you know, the knee, the hip bone, the thigh, and then the jaw, and then you see the hand, then you see the backbone, you know? Yeah. And this is another one that is placed here is the horse. Okay. You never notice that the horse, you don't just jump and sit on the horse, right? Yeah. They had a seat that you prepare that you put on the back of the horse, then you sit down and you be able to position yourself to move. Mm-hmm. So this is the seat of the horse. Okay. And these are the horseshoes. But when you sit down, you got to balance your feet. Yeah. So this is when you put your feet in. Yeah. Then when you move in and then you balance. Okay? Okay. We progress.
Actually, I the next area.
Then we see masks of all types. You know, we have 16 tribes. Okay. And we have the original. That I told you, you know, culture, they had to call cultural division or what have you. So when you travel in other cultural regions, you will see some similarity. Like when you go to neighbor Guinea, Africa, and Sierra Leone, you will see similarity in our artwork, or even the dancing or the song, but it's just that it would be different, but sometimes they carry the same narrative. Also, you see masks here, they are original. These are one of the original, we call it Bong masks. And yeah, they come from the background of our culture. We have, I would say, that says that we have the bush school, which you call it, you know, traditional school, we call it Pro and Sandy. So this is the Pro and Sandy mask. They got the male and female. So this is the female tape. Okay. And these are the original. When we talk about masks, they are the original masks. Okay? So these are contemporary ones. Because out of the one original, the artist or the carver can take it and fashion into a different form. But only one there that represents as an original. Yeah. So that how you see them. And for us, we don't, you know, ethically, we don't display, you know, in a museum like this. But we are now jumping up, you know, to start. So we consider it as we are. So for us, we do the kind of, you know, war partner that we place them. and then we'll say this is tribal march for Liberia.
Okay.
Then we'll tell you the march, how
So you see the different tribes.
yeah.
Over the
Then we'll
different
do the introduction. Then we specialize it by putting it, like a Van March, Gola March, Day March, March from Bong County, and all of them. So that's how we do it. But we don't just spread it. But however, where we are now, we're learning to graduate from there. But so we still remain at this stage until we find a way how we can put it out in a better way. Okay? So, as you can see the arrangement, when I came first, this next month, the 2 months, this thing was not like this. Okay. They were all scattered, in a kind of way. But for my background as a museum expert, I try to position them in a category. You can see it. Yeah. You see the mask, one side, you see the basketry, you see the stool, traditional stool, then you see the traditional instrument. Although we need to do more because, as I told you, the place was closed for 3 consecutive years, and it was devastated by agent of deterioration. Yeah. Talking about the insect infestation and all that you can think about, the insect eating up, and the pests living in here and up to present. You imagine bats and all, laser. I don't want to go there, but this is where we are. And a lot of our things got damaged during the 3 years when the doors were closed. So all of these things you see have problems. The other one has deterioration effects. The insect enter in some of them, got the other one. You see that the insect are already eating up. Then you can see here, all of this one, the doors.
This door was used way back.
Yeah, this is one of antiquity. You can see here the tama, and they have a lot of tamas here to enter, and they just ate a lot of things. All these things are damaged.
Okay, so overall, what's the improvement? What are things you really need to make this area look like a museum?
Well, that's another aspect. What I propose to the administration is that if we want to attract cross-section of people, and not only us or people at the university, but people who kind of do research from the diaspora and what have you. I want to talk about cross-section of people. You see, this place will be close up, and all of the place up there, as you can see, we need to put a mesh, the mosquito net and what have you. Because the insect travel through those, vegetation here. So in the case of reconditioning, we can just use the mosquito. We have to have vegetation air to penetrate, right? So we have to cover it so that the insect will have chance to penetrate, here and there, and then come and damage the object, and then make sure that they play a well position. If we are taking the wall from down up, we have to reach to the city and make sure we change some of these, dividers. And then when we come to the object itself, because first thing we secure the area. We in the area that preserve this thing, we secure the area. We take care of the flow, then we fix showcases. Because you can't get your things exposed like this. Some of them, they are touchable and some of them not.
Big glass.
Yeah, big glass cases. And then when we talk about photograph, we have to put in glass cases because, the dust itself has soft particles, according to our scientific nature. Yeah. So as they sit here or place here, every time dust is sitting there, the soft particle is eating up before 1 or 2 weeks, month or so, a year. You got nothing here. You just have the place like you say you have a sore room and you have nothing. So these are the musical instruments. All of them are damaged. But we get to the position to tell the audience this is how it should be arranged. But you got also the placement of them, showcase the glasses to protect them. That need to be the next stage that we need to move up to. So as you can see, from the initial stage, according to research, this institution has about 2,000 objects. And then after the devastation of the war, we came down to land less than 25%. Then the closure of the place for 2 years, we nearly had nothing, as you can see. So all of these things.
So more of these materials are needed here.
Yeah, just I think we start with our own history. The little one we can get hold of. The immediate one to start to tell our story is that things that are made right here, our farming tools, the cutlasses, the whole. The dika, the knives, all those things. Then we come to our musical instrument. Like you see the one that are very common, right? Yeah. You can get the drums, and you get the drums. Then you get the hunting tool. People face their own gun, the hunting gun and what have you. If we can start the story from there, then before we go to the bigger one, those are the immediate needs that we have to start to document in a proper perspective. Then the narrative can start from there. Okay, so as you see,
These are also warriors.
yeah, no, that they are warriors. They could be, but they are hunter.
Okay.
Yeah, hunter. They are staying in the same kind of operation. Okay. When you can hunt,
yeah,
you can fight.
There's a red on this hunter.
When you can hunt, you can fight, right?
Okay.
You got fight. Hunting is a trade. People shouldn't overlook it. Because the animal you go to kill in the bush, they can fight back, right? So when you shoot somebody, you don't be mindful. You have to be ready for the battle. Yeah. The other run after you, or you run, or you face it. That's another thing that you got to know about. Yeah.
Sometimes the hunter can become a prey.
Okay, you know that, so I don't need to talk about it.
I'm seeing something here. Yeah. Are these work?
This is my own work.
Okay. So just a few times you've been here.
I've been doing a lot. This is the one I just trying to bring up. What I'm trying to advise administration on. Why we here wait for get the mask printed, because we are not having a range no matter. I start to scale sketches in a manner, see how we can improve upon it, then later we can take a photo of it. Many of them I can do all of them in this manner. Then we try to place it too with the information. If you look down, you see Manoma, then you see the Quella. So gradually I'm trying to help too in that manner, not to wait to get everything done. So the little I have, I applying it, to get there. Okay. So this is the way I'm doing.
So just before we leave you, though they are not, written down rules for this area. Yeah. But what you think, will be the rules on this area standard?
Well, the entering, we have a book that everybody who comes in, they sign after the tour. And then later we'll have a suggestion about how you feel about how we can be, promoted, how we can improve. Any criticism you do, we take it. We don't take it as something that, we degrade, but we take it to something that we study to see how better we can improve upon it. And more to that, museum is no one man's business. A culturally oriented and backed by UNESCO, the world body that, responsible for cultural heritage matter. So, and we're trying to also call on philanthropic, like a heritage partner to come to the aid of us to see how better they can help us to acquire some of the needed material to make sure that the place is put in a proper perspective where, people from the diaspora, not only our students, can come and make proper research to get, the field of information they wish to get. So this is the opening that we're trying to do, to open up to people where we are now, to get the aid of people to help us to improve on the place, because they need a proper arrangement. You can't get a museum like this, open air, everything can come in, get access to insect, agent or deterioration. No, it need to be supported in a way where it had to be, taken care of. Like, for instance, scientifically, this is a culture and scientific institution. So we're talking about that, reflecting on the object. These are objects that are gotten from different sources. Like some of these objects, there are people that things that have been gathered beneath the earth, and things that come from beneath the earth, either be associated with water or wet land. Then to get some from the dry land that used to heat. So when you bring all of them into one space, you got to think about the relative humidity. What stabilizes them? It will not be too hot air, it will not be too cold air, but it will be middle air in between there to make sure that the thing is preserved in a way where they can live a longer lifespan to be able to continue to tell the story of our forebears.
So that before we leave you, anything we didn't talk about you want to talk about?
Well, if people got to be involved, people got to be concerned, because more especially the university students, they got to key into this. Because some of them, especially those that are doing, anthropology and history, they need to be close to this information in the institution to acquire information, because it is associated with the work of the field work, especially. Because if you are going out there to interact with somebody, they will tell you much more about themselves, maybe from the diaspora, I'm from America, I'm from Switzerland, I'm from Guinea, I'm from Africa, and Sierra Leone. But this is my culture. Maybe through songs, the dance, and maybe the food. What do you have to offer? That's where we stand. So that if you don't know about yourself, you learn all the big boy, then a master degree, and what have you, then you just walk through. You can't be a copycat. Has to also provide when you are learning, because they got a saying that when somebody is watching your back, you have to have to start to rub your stomach and water to make sure that you totally cover. So this is where we are. We are opening up to, the public or the general public, the students and the cross-section of people that should come to our aid to make sure that we have the be prepared, that everybody can have access to it and obtain the kind of information they can. You got to end up with, holistically, to do the kind of work, you need to have logistics. Like you train a man or you're about to train someone, you can just train on a bag and no text. You got to train them and get them logistics to be able to work, to do the work, to enhance the ability of the work. So in so doing, as we start to run with this kind of institution that have been down, as I just said, for 3 years, and we've been start, we've been down all our computers and we talk about logistics in holistic about logistics. None of the things has yet been gotten. So we need the computer, we need stationery, we need a printer, and just when we talk about logistics in camera, feed, documentation, objects, laminator, and just those kind of things that we actually need to start with, because everything is like completely empty and we're just going to just start from the rebirth.
Okay.
To where we are.
Thank you.